the Higher Education Coordinating Commission Sexual Misconduct Survey Council. It looks like we do have quorum. Very excited. Sorry, now my computer is the one that's making sounds at us. All right, there we go. Let's see, consent. Okay, so we have to approve the June meeting minutes. Do I have a motion? Excellent. We were doing that as a consent agenda item anyhow. So without objection, can we move forward with approval of the June meeting minutes? Oh my God, everything is popping up all over the place. I'm so sorry for the distraction. There we go. Okay, now everything's shut up. All right, excellent. In that case, seeing no objection, the June meeting minutes are approved and we can move on to housekeeping. And that goes to Rowan.
Okay, folks. So thank you all for being here. I hope you're having wonderful summers. A couple of things, just I think just in general, and Kevin will remind me if there's anything else. We do need more students for the council. So if you know any community college students, and we do have an opening for a private college student as well, that would be great if you could let them know we're soliciting. Anyone who might be interested or has a name they want me to reach out and contact someone, if that's okay with them, I'm happy to do that. You can just send me an email. It's probably easiest. And that just a reminder that the student just needs to have had some kind of experience working with a organization on campus that helps promote diversity, equity, and inclusion. We also do not have our next meeting scheduled. I'm thinking probably want to do that in September, so I can give you some initial feedback from what we're hearing from the schools after they receive the survey and the implementation guide. But if that, and I'm towards the end of September, maybe the second half of September, so that the initial school activities are kind of out of the way. Might work better for some folks who are on campus. Kevin, is there anything else that I'm forgetting?
I know you went over it last week in the implementation guide meeting, but if you probably just want to review again, just kind of the next steps beyond this meeting as far as like the HEC full council approval and dissemination.
Sure. Thank you for that. So next step, so after today, hopefully we'll be able to approve the implementation guide in its current version. That version of the implementation guide, whatever's approved today, and the survey will go to the full commission, which is meeting on August 14th. I'm going to send you all. Hello? Hi. Okay.
So sorry.
That's okay. I'll send you all an invitation to the meeting on the 14th when I find out what time they will be reviewing the survey and implementation guide. You don't want to sit through well, you might want to, but I'm sure sitting through the commission meeting all day is probably not going to be real helpful for you. So when I get that time, I will send out the invitation. After the commission has a chance to review the implementation guide and the survey, we will send it out to all of the schools, and they will get the implementation guide formatted beautifully by Kevin. He's working on it right now. You'll get to see that. They will get a paper or a hard copy version of the survey so that they can see all of the questions. They will get a link to Qualtrics and the SurveyMonkey versions of the survey with instructions for personalizing them for their campus. There's just places where it says school that they'll want to put their own institution information in. After the schools receive that, they then have 2 years to run the survey the first time. So we want them to take that time to plan, really prepare their campuses for it, slot it into their schedule with whatever other surveys they need to administer on campus. And as we will continue to meet every 3 months so that I can give you feedback on what we're hearing from the campuses regarding the survey. Also, so we can think about any changes that you might want to make for the next version, because the legislation that established the council does say that every 2 years it will release a survey. So you may want to make changes. The next survey iteration then would be due in probably summer, fall of 2027. And I think that's everything. Does anyone have any questions about that? Just so you know, the results from the survey, remember, are going to be summarized. We're going to ask them to send us aggregate data. We're not going to ask them to do any kind of crosstabs or analysis. They can do that internally if they want to, but we're not going to ask them to share that information. And we're also going to remind folks that although the temptation is going to be to compare campuses with each other as the results from the survey come in, you really can't do that because the circumstances and the populations on each campus are so unique and so different. So that first survey will establish a baseline for the institutions for future years. Yeah, Rain, hi.
Hi there. Sorry, I know I've been asking a lot of questions recently.
Okay.
I was just checking out that implementation guide and sort of the final draft, and I noticed on page 3 that it had said the HECC was charged with supporting the work of the council, distributing the survey, and adopting administrative rules for its implementation. I was wondering, pertaining to those administrative rules, we were talking about those in the previous meeting, just wondering what the timeline was for that and sort of how soon the schools should know that the rules are sort of being made, and I know there is a set of administrative rules on the council website as well. I'm wondering if those are the same thing.
Okay, so Rain, you always bring up really excellent questions, and I really appreciate you doing that. So the administrative rules are how Oregon, as a governmental entity, tells people that are being legislated at how to comply with that legislation. So the implementation guide is our recommendations. The rules are you have to do these things. So we will be preparing the rules, drafting the rules this fall. So we wanted to get everything kind of established and out there, start hearing feedback from the institutions. We will draft the rules this fall. I will let you all know in case you're able to participate in that drafting process. It's a little bit different than the council in that you're more of an advisory board rather than an approval board. But our hope is to have the administrative rules developed so that they can be adopted by the state at the beginning of 2006. That way, if there are any colleges or universities that are going to try to implement the survey in the spring, they'll have the rules to follow. And there are currently rules that are going to be, there are other rules, there's another set of rules that apply to other parts of the legislation. And those will be coming up for public comment during this next month, during August. And I think you had another part of your question. I'm not sure I answered everything.
I'm just wondering about the administrative rules on the website and sort of how the schools would be using those as well. It seems like I think you did answer my question in terms of like understanding that it is something that we're sort of passing to the state to sort of pass back down as, hey, this is what we need to do. Just a recommendation. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Just to clarify, I think like on the webpage for the council, there's a link to just kind of the overall HEC statutes and rules pertaining to the HEC in general. Rules specific to this council and to the survey wouldn't be found on that link yet because they haven't been approved.
Okay, I think that's the end of housekeeping. Yeah, so we can move on to actually discussing that beautiful implementation guide. So Rowan, again to you.
So Kevin, were you able to distribute did you distribute the formatted version or the unformatted version to folks?
The unformatted version, I don't know,
Okay.
Can everybody find that in the chat, or I can repost it if not.
Okay, thank you. So that's what the unformatted version looks like. It is much prettier. Kevin hasn't finalized the formatting yet because we're waiting for approval from you all. I went through and made changes kind of based on some of the things that we talked about. I tried to tighten it up and get rid of loose ends. I it's not by any means a perfect document, but I think it's pretty good for a start. So I'm wondering if anyone has anything they wanted to see added, or if there were any places where there was still confusion because I had started a sentence and didn't finish it, or anything like that. Oh, and I did not put the reporting in this implementation guide because that is something that we can send out later. We didn't need to have it, and I didn't want to. It will be I want you all to take a look at the draft, but I don't have a version that I want you to see yet at this point.
Jenna?
I apologize. Just in a cursory glance, I didn't see it, and I don't think it's in here, but I wanted to raise the idea of Rowan and I have been having conversations about how to support campuses in connecting with their local DSV, domestic and sexual violence programs. And so I'm wondering if for future implementation guides, I'm just going to put a pin in that and see if it would be helpful to include something around how to build relationships, reach out for that.
Yeah. Thank you, Jenna. I think it's that's an interesting idea. It's a little bit outside the scope of what we're working on. I think we do need to provide some guidance for the institutions, but most of that is in different sections of the law than in the survey. So the survey is, I think, 336, 337, and then the sections that talk about building partnerships are in 340 and 341. Really hoping to get well, and we've talked about that. That's why we're talking about it. Hoping to get some support from OCADSVA and SATF in the best ways for institutions to communicate with the organizations, and also honestly some realistic feedback from the organizations about what they can actually provide to the institution. So we will be having those discussions, but they may not end up being part of this particular guide.
Perfect. Thank you for the clarification.
Mm-hmm.
All right, does anyone else have any questions, thoughts, feedback, or anything about the implementation guide for Rowan? All right.
I'm looking at it, Rowan. It looks pretty good. Thank you for giving an example of less than 10 and the 2 possible ways to display the data. We got the completion rate, response rate, everything. Nothing's standing out to me. Good job.
Thank you. Yeah. Hey, Rain, go ahead. Just jump in.
Yeah, I just wanted to second that from Adea. Like, thank you for helping to explain the sort of cell setup there. I am a college student and I'm an English major, so it was helpful to actually have that language there, like explaining sort of what that looks like. That was really helpful, and I understand it better now as well.
Yeah, just to
Awesome.
jump in, I have to say it feels really surreal looking at this. I mean, just like thinking back to the students who came to Every Voice and demanded that we had to do something to make colleges just 5%, 10% safer, that it feels crazy having this PDF on my computer that's getting sent out like tomorrow. It just feels so surreal, and I'm just so grateful for the continued partnership of literally everyone that has showed up every day. I mean, this is, again, I just keep saying unreal. It's so great, and I'm so excited to get this thing done.
And I think that's a really excellent point. Everyone who is here and everyone who's been attending these meetings has done so much to make this possible. But yeah, that original group of students who partnered with Every Voice to get this going really deserves an enormous amount of credit for this.
Well, what a nice way to actually be able to say that we are doing something in a time when I think it often feels like there's not a lot we can do to make an impact. Maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but that's really wonderful. If there's no other questions, thoughts, feelings, or very lovely, nice things to say, I would entertain a motion to approve the implementation guide if anyone wants to move to approve.
Can I move to approve the motion on the implementation guide?
Andrew moves to approve. Do I have a second? Adea seconds. All right. So all in favor of approving the 2025 to 2027 implementation guide?
So Martina, we're
Yes.
gonna actually need to do a kind of more formal roll call vote for this.
We have to
So
do a
if
roll
you
call
don't
vote.
mind, I will, what I'll do is I'll just go through everybody's name alphabetically by last name and say yes or no as far as that you approve of the dissemination of the survey implementation guide. And so I will go ahead and start. Carolyn Bartlett,
I approve.
Melanie Burnett,
Yes.
Jenna Cohen,
Yes.
Andrew Eccles,
Yes.
Jimmy Howard,
Yes.
Lena Leclerc,
Yes.
Lisa Logan,
Yes.
Jessica Marshall,
Yes.
Adea Powell,
Yes.
Rudy Ann Rivera Lindstrom,
Yes.
Martina Shaburn,
Approve.
Justin Smith,
Yes.
Kelly Strawn,
Yes.
Rain Fernotsky.
Yes, approve.
All right, unanimous approval.
Excellent. Thank you. It's very fun to get to formally say that we all approve. Rowan, Kevin, are there any other things that I don't see anything else on the agenda. Is there anything else that we have to discuss? Anything else for the good of the order?
I don't have anything further.
I just want to say the story that Andrew Echoes just talked about, when they're distributing that survey, it would be nice for students to know that their voices created this survey. Because it can give credence on why I should take it even stronger, that this was a student-led effort that ended up being statewide, and we would appreciate you participating in this.
Okay, well, Kevin and Rowan, unless there's something that I'm missing, I think that is our meeting, yeah? All right. In that case, with all those very nice things that have made me feel emotions, then this meeting is adjourned.
Yay. Have a great